Okay, so according to ESPN Analytics, the Jets have a 13% chance of making the playoffs, and they have a must-win game on Thursday Night Football against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brian Costello is the New York Post Jets beat writer and co-host of the Gangs All Here podcast, and he joins us now. Brian, I'm trying to talk a lot of my gangrene friends off the edge, so come on, talk positive vibes for us. Coach Salah usually wears those positive vibes, only hoodies, but what's the vibe been like in the locker room and the team facility this week?
I think, Brandon, you know, these Thursday night games, there's not much time for any thought or discussion, really. So I think it benefits the Jets coming off that loss to the Lions, a tough, fourth quarter loss. They really couldn't dwell on it. They had to turn around and get ready for the Jaguars. So the vibe I got, we weren't actually in the locker room this week because of the short week, but we talked to some players Tuesday in the press room, and I think they all just kind of turned the page quickly. And I also think they're not really looking at like fans are right now, looking at this like 3 games. They're just worried about Thursday night and getting a win against the Jaguars, and then figuring out the playoffs from there.
So from talking to the players defensively, what do you think? I don't want to keep using the word mindset, but have they put this loss behind them? And are they kind of putting it on them in terms of they being the strong point of this team to get them to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the defense put this game behind them quickly. They felt, it was really one play. They played well all day. That Lions offense has been scoring a lot of points. The Jets really only give up 13 points, but they give up the critical play of the game. So they know that, but I don't think they were down on themselves after that game. And all season, Brandon, this defense has said, put it on us, and they did it. Like when the Jets were winning those games in October, it was the defense that was winning the games. The offense was not clicking very well in any of those games. So I think the Jets defense welcomes the challenge of Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars, and they'll try to put this team on their back.
You mentioned Trevor Lawrence. It's Trevor Lawrence versus Zach Wilson, the number 1 and number 2 overall picks in the 2021 draft. Do you think the Jets front office are going to use this game as a measuring stick for long-term plans for Zach Wilson?
No, I don't think it's one game. I think it's the body of work that they're going to, when they sit down in February or January, February, and try to figure out what they're going to do moving forward with the quarterback position, they're going to look at the whole body of work and see what Zach did. Obviously, this will be part of it. This could be his last start. I think Mike White could be back in Seattle. So this might be Zach Wilson's last chance here to make a statement in 2022. But I don't see this as like a more important game than any other game, and the Trevor Lawrence thing is an interesting talking point for us and for fans, but I don't see that having any weight with the front office. I think they're going to look at the whole season and, what Zach did and where they feel like he can go in 2023 to make that decision.
All right, Brian, you got your Nike hoodie on. Put on your positive vibes only hoodie. You are head coach Robert Saleh right now. Finish this sentence.
Time out. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. That was a cheap shot.
Too soon. The Jets win this game if
the defense and special teams helps out the offense. I think, this Jets defense has been really good all year, right? But they don't have a turnover in the last 3 games, all 3 losses. Special teams has given up 2 punt return touchdowns in the last few weeks. There's only been 3 in the NFL this season, Brandon, and the Jets have given up 2 of them. So I think the Jets, we know what the offense is basically, and the running game has been scuffling. We know Zach Wilson's been struggling. So they need short fields. Can the defense get some turnovers, give them short fields? Can the Jets get a punt return of their own? Can the Jets score some points that aren't on offense? Can they is there a pick 6 in this game? Is there a punt return for a touchdown? Can they set the Jets up with a short field to get some points? To me, if they do that, they beat the Jaguars. It's supposed to be a very rainy night, so it could be some sloppy offense. I think this game is on the Jets defense and special teams.
Brian, you know how to use a timeout. You know how to rally the troops. I see coaching in your future. Thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks, Brandon.